Another day, another story. In the world of aviation, there are tales of miraculous survival against all odds, and there are stories that chill the soul. The following is a harrowing real-life adventure story of an air crash that tested the limits of human endurance and resilience. It was a crisp winter morning when Flight 124, a passenger plane en route from New York to Los Angeles, encountered unforeseen trouble. The skies were clear, and the passengers settled comfortably into their seats, unaware of the impending nightmare. Among them was Sarah, a seasoned traveler who had embarked on countless journeys without incident. Little did she know that this flight would be unlike any other. Midway through the flight, as the plane cruised at 30,000 feet, a sudden jolt rocked the aircraft. Alarms blared, and passengers were thrust forward in their seats. Panic ensued as oxygen masks dropped from the overhead compartments. The pilot's voice came over the intercom, strained but composed, explaining that the plane had suffered a catastrophic engine failure. The situation was dire. Sarah, her heart pounding, followed the flight attendant's instructions, donning her oxygen mask and fastening her seatbelt tightly. Outside the window, the engine sputtered and emitted flames. The plane began to lose altitude rapidly, and a sense of impending doom filled the cabin. In the cockpit, the crew was battling against time and fate. The remaining engine strained to maintain control, and the pilot desperately radioed air traffic control for an emergency landing. The nearest airport was still too far away, and the minutes ticked by with agonizing slowness. Meanwhile, Sarah found herself in a surreal world of chaos and uncertainty. Passengers around her prayed, cried, and clung to their loved ones. The cabin crew displayed remarkable composure, instructing everyone on emergency procedures and evacuation protocols. As the plane descended further, a stark reality set in. There was no guarantee of a safe landing. The aircraft was losing altitude rapidly, and the terrain below was unforgiving, a vast expanse of rugged mountains and wilderness. The crew informed passengers to prepare for a crash landing in the wilderness. With the ground fast approaching, the plane hit the treetops with a deafening roar. The impact was brutal, tearing the fuselage apart. The survivors were jolted and thrown about like rag dolls. Miraculously, the cabin remained largely intact, and many passengers, including Sarah, had escaped the worst of the initial impact. Despite their injuries and the shock of the crash, the passengers began to assess the situation. They were stranded in a remote wilderness, far from civilization. The crew initiated an emergency evacuation, and passengers assisted each other in exiting the wreckage. The survivors faced a daunting challenge, surviving in the wilderness until rescue arrived. With limited supplies salvaged from the plane, they fashioned makeshift shelters, tended to the wounded, and rationed their remaining food and water. The days turned into a struggle for survival against the elements and the relentless cold. Rescue efforts were underway, but the dense wilderness made it difficult for search teams to locate the crash site. It was a race against time as the survivors waited anxiously for their rescuers to arrive. Weeks passed, and hope began to wane. But just when it seemed like all was lost, the distant hum of a helicopter broke the silence. The survivors erupted in cheers as the rescue team descended from the sky. They had endured unimaginable hardship, but their resilience had prevailed. The story of Flight 124 is a testament to the indomitable human spirit, the power of teamwork, and the will to survive against all odds. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.